Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Pickle Juice 3-4 category. So this is the second race I raced in a day after the 1-2-3. And before we start, I just want to have you quickly just listen to the ref, and I will explain all the mistakes that I made and why I made them later.
You may also ring a bell early if there's a back group the second half of the race that I can sprint out and get some places further down the race. So I may ring the bell early for your group if there's a risk of you being lapped, and that'll be later in the race. Otherwise, we'll be pulling riders here at the line, asking you to move yourself off the course as quickly as possible.
Okay, now with that out of the way, before I talk about what I didn't understand, we'll just take a look at this. This is where I actually lost this race right away. It took me a solid 30 seconds or more just to clip in. I was getting really frustrated. I don't know what it is, but I have a Sioma Duo power pedals, and it's like Hambini designed those pedals. They spin so freely. As soon as you spin up, start the bike, it's gonna start spinning, and it's so hard to stop it and get it, get your cleat in correctly. It's just super difficult. I guess also should practice that a little bit outside. So yeah, right here I already lost the race. I'm kind of chatting with my friend who I didn't see earlier, and he just joined. I think he was a little bit late to the start, so I was worried he missed it, but thankfully he didn't. So yeah, I'm chatting with him here. I'm too far back. It's still a neutral lap, but as you'll see in this race, actually the first lap, I think it was Kelly something team attacked right away from the start and got a separation. So right from the first lap there was a group ahead, and then I was kind of in a chase group, but you'll see that as we go here. So okay, here we go. Fast forward to lap 2. I'm going up the hill on the backside of the course. Everyone's sprinting, putting in a lot of power down, trying to get myself to the front of this group. At this point, there's already a separation at the front, and I was just too far back to do anything about it. So, first rookie mistake is learn how to clip in, because it really can cost you a race. Anyway, I think I was strong enough here to be in the front. I just didn't follow. I couldn't react. If you're too far back in the pack, you just can't react to anything. And now here everyone's scrambling. We're trying to get to the front, but there's nowhere to pass. It's a narrow course. It's very technical, so you have to brake every lap, every corner. There's a lot of different skill / I guess fitness levels in the group. So even if you think you're good behind somebody, they can open a gap, and then you're just kind of not in the best position. I think the guy right in front of me is Claudio. Yeah, Claudio Marquez is another YouTuber guy. He's actually a big reason why I started cycling as well. So if you want to hear that story, let me know. But here we're still fighting, scrambling to get up. I think it took me about like 2 or 3 laps just to get to the front of the chase group. And let's jump to lap 7 here, and this is the chase group. So this is it. I think out of the field of about 40 riders, I think it was about 40 or 50 riders today. There was, I think, maybe 10 of us at this point left in the chase group, and then that dwindled down to 5 as we go. So here we're trying to kind of get organized. I didn't give up on the race win, but I kind of just figured, I'm gonna use this to really practice my cornering. And as you can see right here, I kind of figured out what the gap is that I need to leave to carry enough speed through the corner, and then I can catch up to the wheel in front without having to put massive power down, at least for myself. So I think this is where it all clicked in this race. I was using a lot less energy than I was in 1-2-3 and last weekend, which was really good. and really good, really good progress, something I can take to the next race. And speaking of, the next race is Pottstown. It's a PA Championships where I'm planning to go. It's kind of similar course, I guess. It's a 6-corner course, 0.75 mile lap. So relatively similar stats to this course. So hopefully, everything I learn here is what I can bring over there. Pretty excited for that. I think the field limit is 75. There's currently 60 people signed up in the 3-4 category. I will be racing 3-4. Since the 1, 2, 3, only 1 and 2 are eligible for the state championship title. So since I'm category 3, I want to try and win that. So here we're kind of trying to rotate in this chase group. We weren't really working well together, which is to be expected in 3-4. I think there was a team maybe here, the red guys, which they were trying to maybe save up some energy. I'm not sure. I could be talking out of my ass, really. Everyone looks like a team to me if they have the same or similar color jersey. Yeah, I don't really look at those things as much as I probably should. But I was really trying to, even though I was working on my cornering, I was really trying to organize this chase group, because they were, the front group was about 30 seconds ahead of us at this point. So I didn't, I thought maybe if we really do some good work, we can catch up. So I was trying to do a little bit more work than I probably should in the front. So I would pull a decent good long pull, then I would try and swap or try and have somebody pull through. But what I noticed is not a lot of people would actually pull through, which again, yeah, I know it's racing, but maybe they were either dead or they just didn't want to do it. Except this guy in front of me. This guy in front of me, I believe his name is Nathan, and this dude, he was the only other motivated kid in this group, that really wanted to work and wanted to bring the group back. He's a really strong rider. But I think he, same as me, obviously, but has still a lot to learn as far as like tactics and just, for example, he would pull through, but he would kind of spike the power too much, so nobody would follow him, and then he just kind of felt really disconnected. But it is what it is, Nate, you did a great job, man. You'll see what happened to me later, but if I stayed, I was kind of planning to kind of try and go with him and bring the group back together. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit to lap 13. Nothing's really changing here. We're still trying to work. I'm still doing longer pulls, trying to get this back. I think we were actually getting the gap down from about 35-30 to 30-25. Felt like it was melting down slowly, but not any significant amount. And just so you know, this course lap, you can see the lap timer is about 90 seconds, right? So the group had at most, I think, 40 seconds in front of us. And now let me just talk about what happened at the beginning there. I wanted you to listen to the ref. I was never in a race where there was a preem ever, so I don't know how the preem works. As far as I understood before this race is, if you win the lap, if you're in the lead, you get the preem, right? So we're here a chase group, and if there is a front group, if there was a preem, the front group would win a preem. That's how that works in my mind, right? So I'm not worried about a preem, I'm not worried about anything, I just want to get the group back. Here's Nate pulling again, good job, Nate. So yeah, that's how I think preem works, right? That's how I thought preems worked. And yeah, so the ref at the beginning said there was gonna be a bell or a bell for a preem lap, and then also what he said is, if there is a group that could catch up to you, where you can interfere in their finish sprint, I might pull your group early, right? So that was said, before. And what I did in this race, and you'll see that later, they actually rang the bell at lap 20. Now, and apparently they yelled preem, which I didn't hear, but they rang the bell for my group, for the chase group, for a preem lap. Now what I'm thinking though, I'm tired, right? I'm pulling, and we're doing hard work. I hear the bell, and I'm thinking, okay, the break is probably already, you know, over a minute ahead of us then, you know, because not everyone is always telling you the exact timing, right? People could lie. A lot of people would just say, you know, 10 seconds just so we feel like we're catching up, right? So I hear the bell lap at lap 20. So hear a bell lap at lap 20, and I'm thinking, okay, obviously the break is so far ahead that they will catch up to us at some point, and they're calling a bell lap for my group, for the chase group. So I go ahead, I attack that lap. I ended up, you know, winning that lap out of my group, and I stop. I pull myself out, I do a cooldown lap, and now another guy stops with me. So I'm thinking, you know, that's it. But the rest of them, I think 4 guys left, continued racing. So I'm like, okay, you know, not everybody always pulls out when they're supposed to pull out, which, you know, I've been seeing that. And the other guy's stopping, so I'm like, okay, we're done, right? I pull myself out, I take an easy lap, I go back to the ref, and they tell me it was a preem lap. And at this point, I can't go back to the race. So it was kind of race over for me. Unfortunately, I got a DNF, even though if I noodled around, you know, at like 5 watts, I probably couldn't. Worst I've gotten would be 10th. So yeah, I guess the second mistake, a rookie mistake, is know that the bell for the preem lap is not different than a bell lap. It's the same bell. So just know that, you know, and that people can call preems for wherever you are in a race. You don't have to be in a lead to get a preem. So that's another thing that, you know, I had to learn in a hard way. And I guess, you know, those things you can look up online or read up on or even ask, but sometimes I just kind of assume things and, you know, just, you know, make mistakes like this. So it's a good learning experience still. At least I won't do this mistake again, hopefully, fingers crossed, in a week's time when we race Pottstown. But here, yeah, you can watch the last lap. My power meter actually died last 3 laps, which I didn't even notice. But right here I attacked on this back end. I think I got up to 33, 34 miles an hour going uphill, which is pretty fast. I think I dropped everybody pretty relatively quickly, and I didn't really need to do a lot of work to win this lap. But in hindsight, I guess they all knew it was a preem lap, so nobody really wanted to expend a lot of energy for it. So we can just see the finish here. I think I was also close to cramping at this point, because I did have a race earlier in the day and I was pretty tired, relatively tired. I think, you know, I had this was fine, but I think if I was to sprint a couple more times, it would definitely something would happen. And here I passed the finish line, and still here I guess I should have asked, but I didn't, and nobody said anything, right? They didn't say you got a preem. They were just like nodding their head. And here I'm stopping, I'm slowing down, and, you know, my heart rate is already dropping. The group's still not here, and I believe the first guy that's here, no, they caught up to me. And they're still going, so I'm confused, but this guy here, the red guy, also stops. So I'm like, oh, okay, we're done. And then I just pull off here to my friends and my fiance, and I tell them that I'm done. But, you know, at this point I still have no idea if I'm done or not. But yeah, that's it, guys. Well, you know, hopefully I won't be doing mistakes like this again, although I'm sure I will be doing some other pretty hilarious things as I go. But yeah, cycling's fun. Keep pedaling, and I'll see you guys in the next one.